Hello and welcome to Indus News. Live from Islamabad, I'm Naila Shuja and these are the headlines. Iran's foreign ministry insists that a prisoner swap deal has been agreed upon with the United States. In a tweet, spokesperson Saeed Khatibzadeh said Washington's denial is outrageous and all sides agreed to release 10 inmates. The Taliban claim to have captured Chakhansur district in Afghanistan's Nimruz province. In a tweet, the group spokesperson said they have also killed several government soldiers. Meanwhile, in Doha, the Taliban discussed the Afghan peace process with the Swiss diplomats. They also mulled over issues related to the protection of embassies and their staff. The death toll from freak floods in Western Europe has risen to 183, with hundreds still missing. Police have reported 156 deaths in Germany, while at least 27 people have lost their lives in Belgium. The daily coronavirus deaths in Brazil have declined to 868 after a week of surging. New cases have also fallen from around 57,000 to more than 34,000 in the last 24 hours. Pakistan has reported more than 2,600 new cases and 21 deaths overnight. Globally, the virus has claimed over 4 million lives and infected more than 188 million people. For more news and details, stay tuned. We'll be back after a short break. Welcome back. The Taliban claims to have captured the Chakhansur district in Afghanistan's Nimruz province. In a tweet, the group spokesperson said they have also killed several Afghan soldiers. The defense ministry says security forces have killed dozens of Taliban in Helmand and Kabisa provinces. Over in Qatar, the Taliban discussed the Afghan peace process with Swiss diplomats. The group spokesperson Sohail Shaheen said they also mulled over issues related to the protection of embassies and their staff. Meanwhile, high-level negotiations between the Taliban and the Kabul government are underway in Doha. Iran's foreign ministry insists that a prisoner swap deal has been agreed upon with the United States. Spokesperson Saeed Khatibzadeh said Washington's denial is outrageous and all sides agreed to release 10 inmates. In a tweet, he said that the talks with the United States and the United Kingdom on the issues were separate from the JCPOA. Khatibzadeh said that Tehran is ready to proceed with the prisoner exchange today. Earlier, the U.S. accused Iran of an outrageous effort to deflect blame for the impasse in nuclear talks. The State Department said Tehran's delay in restarting the process is not helping. China says it opposes any attempts of a regime change in Syria. The remarks come as the Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi met with President Bashar al-Assad in Damascus. Wang said under Assad's leadership, Syria has made valuable achievements in combating terrorism and opposing external interference. The foreign minister noted that Assad's re-election reflects the strong trust and support of the Syrian people. Wang added blatant foreign interventions in Syria have failed in the past and will not succeed in the future. He reaffirmed China's support for the reconstruction of Syria and opposed unilateral sanctions against it. For his part, Assad said Syria supports China unconditionally on the issues related to Taiwan, Xinjiang, and Hong Kong. He also expressed hope to take part in the joint BRI construction and strengthen cooperation in the fields of economy and science. The death toll from freak floods in Western Europe has risen to 183. Hundreds of people are still missing or unreachable as several areas are inaccessible due to the high water levels. Police have reported 156 deaths in Germany, while at least 27 people have lost their lives in Belgium. Rescue services fear the death toll could rise. Over the past several days, the floods have cut off entire communities from power and communications. Water levels slowly fell in the worst-hit parts of Belgium, allowing residents to sort through damaged possessions. Meanwhile, the floods also prompted evacuations in the Netherlands, Switzerland, and Luxembourg. In India, at least 20 people have died after several houses collapsed due to rain-triggered landslides in Mumbai. The National Disaster Response Force said at least 8 people are feared to be trapped in the rubble. Authorities said 24 people have been rescued from the areas. Officials said 2 others were injured in 2 different incidents in Chembur and Vikhroli areas. The Indian Meteorological Department has issued a red alert for Mumbai in the backdrop of heavy rain. Several areas in the city are waterlogged after heavy rainfall, and suburban train services are disrupted. The daily coronavirus deaths in Brazil have declined to 868 after a week of surging. New cases have also fallen from around 57,000 to more than 34,000 in the last 24 hours. The number of daily new infections has surged this past week to levels not seen since February. Mexico reported over 12,000 confirmed cases and 225 more fatalities, whereas Thailand has announced the expansion of coronavirus restrictions to 3 more provinces after the country reported a 3rd consecutive day of record case numbers. Meanwhile, Tokyo Olympics organizers have reported 3 new infections among athletes, including 2 at the Village. That compares with 15 new cases on Saturday, whereas the European Union says it has exceeded in the U.S. in vaccination. Globally, the virus has claimed over 4 million lives and infected more than 188 million people. Pakistan has reported 21 more deaths from COVID-19 and over 2,600 cases. The health ministry says the toll has climbed to 22,781. It said the country's positivity ratio has climbed to 5.34%. Pakistan has reported over 989,000 cases since the pandemic began, while more than 919,000 people have recovered. The active cases have surpassed 47,000, while over 2,500 of them are critical. In France, thousands marched across the country to protest President Emmanuel Macron's plans of forced vaccination of health workers. They also protested the requirement of COVID-19-free certificate to enter recreational places. Macron announced sweeping measures earlier this week to fight a rapid surge in coronavirus infections. Protesters say these measures infringe the freedom of choice of those who do not want the COVID-19 shot. According to a poll, more than 60% of the people agree with mandatory vaccination and a health pass. So far, around 55% of the French have received a single dose of COVID-19 jab. The United Kingdom says every adult in the country has been offered a COVID-19 vaccine ahead of restrictions easing. The government said around 88% of adults have had at least first dose and 68% have had both. Prime Minister Boris Johnson said the vaccination target has been met and was an extraordinary achievement. He promised in February that all adults would be offered the first dose by the end of July. Meanwhile, British Health Minister Sajid Javid has tested positive for coronavirus and is self-isolating. It comes as Britain recorded more than 50,000 daily cases on both Friday and Saturday. Facebook has hit back after the Biden administration denounced it for spreading misinformation about COVID-19 vaccines. In a blog, Facebook Vice President Guy Rawson said that the tech giant is not the reason the U.S. missed its vaccination goal. Rawson said President Joe Biden has chosen to blame a handful of American social media companies. He asserted that vaccine acceptance among Facebook users in the United States has increased. Rawson said company data shows 85% of Facebook users have either been vaccinated or want to be. This comes after Biden declared in unusually strong language that platforms were killing people. Facebook's response follows a forceful condemnation of the company by Biden when asked on Friday. In the United States, 4 people have been shot outside a professional baseball stadium in the District of Columbia. In a tweet, the police said no one sustained life-threatening injuries in the incident in Washington, D.C. It said investigation is underway and it appears that there is no active threat. A match was in progress between the Washington Nationals and the San Diego Padres at the time of the shooting. The police said that the game has been suspended. In Spain, firefighters have used air tankers to control a wildfire in Costa Brava region. The blaze has forced over 300 people to evacuate their homes. The fire tore through about 1,000 acres of forest and scrubland on the edge of a popular tourist area, the Cap de Cruz Park. Authorities say the fire might have been caused by a discarded cigarette. They say anyone found responsible can face criminal charges, while Catalan Fire Service says 6 aircraft and 90 fire crews have been deployed. In the United Kingdom, Pakistan Air Force's Pride JF-17 Thunder was the show stealer at the Royal International Air Tattoo 2021. The RIAT 2021 is being held virtually due to COVID-19 restrictions. JF-17 dazzled spectators with breathtaking maneuvers and daring stunts while demonstrating the PAF's capabilities. The Royal International Air Tattoo is the world's largest military air show, held annually over the third weekend in July. Pakistan Air Force has been participating in the RIAT since 2016. This year, PAF jets are displaying their skills along with 70 other air forces of the world. As the annual Islamic festival of Eid al-Adha approaches, professional groomers in Pakistan spruce up camels to sell them at higher prices. More in this report. With a pair of sharp scissors, an aluminium plate, and a dining room chair, Pakistani camel groomer Ali Hassan snips away at his camel's hair, turning its back into a work of art. With Eid al-Adha just around the corner, he is a busy man. He does this work every year to show off his skills at the country's biggest cattle market in Karachi.
I make these designs on camels because people find them beautiful when they look at them. They're good and attractive. When I make these designs with proficiency, everyone loves them.
The 50-year-old learned the art of camel grooming from his father and has been doing it since he was a child. His services range from $31 to $63 but could be even higher depending on the complexity of the design. The work, which is done on both sides of the camel, can take up to 5 hours to complete.
All these patterns are easy to carve, but the most difficult part is the round shape or circle. Not every designer can draw it. You can bring any designer from this whole camel market here. He will not be able to place this design in a circle like I have done.
Camels have remained an important part of life for people in Pakistan and India for centuries. They are still widely used in transport and farming in remote and arid areas. 3 Chinese nationals and 2 Mauritanians have been kidnapped in southwestern Mali. The Malian army says gunmen attacked a construction site near Kawala town and took 5 vans. The army said the attackers also destroyed equipment, including a crane and dump trucks belonging to international firms. In a social media post, it said proceedings are underway against the assailants. Kidnappings in the country are frequent, both of Malayans and foreigners. Earlier on the 8th of April, Sahel's largest jihadist alliance kidnapped French journalist Olivier Dubois in northern Mali. Gunmen have abducted at least 60 people and killed 1 person in Nigeria's northwestern Zamfara state. Police said the abductors attacked 5 villages in the Shinkafi area. Witnesses said bandits escaped into the nearby forest after the kidnappings. They said the armed men riding on over 70 motorcycles also destroyed properties. They added the kidnappers fired a rocket that hit the house of a senior district head of the local council. Nigeria is battling an increase in armed robberies and kidnappings for ransom, mainly in the northwestern areas. In Cuba's capital, Havana, thousands attended a government-organized rally to reaffirm their support for the country's revolution. This comes a week after unprecedented anti-government protests rocked the island nation. Cuba's former president Raul Castro was also among the attendees. He promised to continue fighting for the revolution as a foot soldier. President Miguel Diaz-Canel called on the United States to lift its blockade, accusing it of aggression and terror. Earlier protests erupted nationwide amid widespread shortages of basic goods and demands for political rights. The government blamed the protest on the United States-financed counter-revolutionaries. It's now time for a short break. Stay with us. Welcome back. The Cannes Film Festival has drawn to a close in southern France. The event managed to gather a large number of film stars despite the pandemic. More in this report. The world's biggest film festival returned to the French Riviera after 2020 hiatus due to the coronavirus pandemic, in one of the most unpredictable contests in years. Titane, a wildly imaginative film about a serial killer by French director Julia Ducournau, won the top Palme d'Or prize at the Cannes Film Festival. Other big winners included Leos Carax, picked as the best director for Annette, a musical about two artists caught in a twisted love affair. Hamaguchi Raisuke and Taka Musa, Oi of Japan, won the best screenplay for their tale of heartbreak and loss, Drive My Car.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much. Regarding the prize for Best Screenplay, first I need to thank the author of the source material, Haruki Murakami.
Renée Reinsve won the Best Actress for her role in The Worst Person in the World by Joachim Trier, a modern-day romantic comedy that was a big hit with the critics. Caleb Landry Jones, who played the role of a mass murderer in an Australian film, Nitram, won the Best Actor and was speechless on stage.
I think I'm going to throw up. I'm sorry. Thank you to the jury. Thank you, Justin. I cannot do this. I'm so sorry. I cannot do this. Thank you so much.
The jury prize, another runner-up award for the best movie, went to two films. The Dov Lapid's searing look into artistic freedoms in Israel in Ahid's Knee, and a cryptic meditative drama Memoria by Thailand's Apichatpong Virasethaku. Italian director Marco Belloscio, 81, was given an honorary Palme d'Or. A young Chinese director, Tang Yi, 32, won the Palme d'Or for Best Short Film with All the Crows in the World. In China, the world's largest astronomy museum has made its debut to the public in Shanghai. The one-of-its-kind museum will officially start embracing visitors on Sunday. It covers an area of around 58,600 square meters. The building is designed to highlight the orbital motion of the Sun and the Earth with three principal forms. Officials say the museum intends to create an immersive experience of engaging in a real astronomical phenomena. For instance, visitors can take a trip into a starry night in the Optical Planetarium Theater. It's now time to take a look at the weather updates from around the world. For the latest news updates, you can follow us on our social media at Indus.news.